So, it is 12:30 p.m. on Sunday, and I am about to go 24 hours without my phone. Let's see if I can do it. I am about to embark on a journey. I am going to explore some places that I haven't been in a long time and figure out if they're open and if we can hang out there and maybe take a hike and just have a good time and enjoy the beautiful day. It's hot, it's sunny, it's a gorgeous day. So let's get started. Hello. It took about 45 minutes maybe to drive here, maybe like half an hour. But there are a bunch of other people here, which, it's fine. But I was kind of hoping I would be alone, but I knew I wouldn't because it's Sunday, and of course, it's really nice out. All the other people want to come and be here, but I've made it to my hiking trail. It looks like it's gonna rain, so I feel like I'll see some people leaving, and that'll be good. And if it starts raining, I'm just gonna be here. So, that's great. Before I start, I just want to talk about the 3 times that I've missed my phone so far. So the first time was when I was almost out of town and I started to get hungry. And I was like, oh man, if I had my phone, I could order food and like go pick it up somewhere or go get it delivered to me in my car. And then I was like, but I could just do that anyways. I could just go through a drive-through, or I could just like go inside. I mean, the corona time is still happening, but like, still. But then I also was like, what if I get lost? What if I don't know where I'm going? Or what if something happens to me? What if I crash my car? And then I was like, this is like weird obsessive thinking that like, that's not normal to think that. Oh my God, it's raining already. No. It just started raining. God damn it. Oh, well, I'm still going to go out there, but maybe I don't think I have I don't have a warmer outfit. But then the third time that I wanted my phone was when I was thinking I might be lost, didn't know where I was, and I was like, okay, I kind of want my phone so that I can, figure out where I'm going. But then I made it here because I knew where to go because I've been here a few times. But yeah, so those were the 3 times that I've wanted my phone so far. I'm kind of regretting how long it took to drive here. The sun went away and now it's raining. And also, I don't have any food. I should have got food before or brought food, like a snack. But, you live and you learn. Time to go. Time to go hiking. Holy shit. Holy fuck. I hiked a little bit, and then it started raining harder, and then the wind started coming. I am so out of shape. Oh my god. But I took a bunch of pictures, and so I'll show some of those in the video here. But I feel good about what I did. But it's definitely getting too rainy and too windy because I am not wearing the right shoes, which I should have thought about a little bit harder, but I did not. So I'm gonna start driving home because also my camera's gonna die soon, which I forgot to charge it, so that's my bad. But yeah, it's definitely getting a little bit too crazy out there for me to keep going. Especially if the trail starts getting muddy, my shoes are not gonna hold up. But here's how it looks out there. Hello. So I drove home and I stopped to get some food from one of my favorite restaurants. And while I was there, I met this amazing woman named Jill. Here's Coco for you, by the way. Shout out to Jill. You're super cool. Thanks for talking to me. Yeah, and so this is the food that I got. It's a grilled cheese with mac and cheese inside of it, some chips, and some pesto to dip it in. And I am currently trying to figure out how to watch Joker. Apparently it's only on HBO, and I have HBO, but I don't know the passwords, so probably just gonna buy it on Amazon Prime Video if we're being honest. So yeah, that's where my day is at right now. Still no phone. It's locked away in my parents' medicine cabinet. I'm doing pretty well. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a few hours once I'm done watching Joker. Just finished Joker. Very good. Very good. Yep, that's all I have to say about that. Honestly, I think that in 50 years, people are going to look back on what happened in the early 2000s with all of the puberty blockers and teenage trans kids, and I think it's going to be looked at in a similar way. I'm going to be one of the people who's going to look back and be like, that happened to me. Thankfully, I didn't lose my brain function. Like these people, these poor people who all were experimented on. But it's the same goddamn thing. I mean, seriously. The amount of people who are going to look back and be like, that used to be me, is going to be more than the people who are going to be identifying as trans at that time, I believe. I think there's going to be more detransitioners than trans people who live the rest of their lives being trans. Anyways, learning about that, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty fucking sad. It's really fucked up that they thought this was the right thing to do, but it's just like anything in 2020, you know, in 2070, everyone's going to be like, what the fuck were they thinking? I mean, it's history just repeats itself, so, you know. So I'm watching this documentary, right? And in the 1930s, her father heard from an endocrinologist who thought that he could help her with hormone injections. You can't make this shit up, man. You can't make this shit up. This is history repeating itself. It's probably not testosterone, but let's probably like growth hormones. The doctor convinced her parents to let him inject her with hormones once a week. This is exactly what happened to me. The fucking doctors, they're always behind it all. I guarantee in 9 months, she will be 100%. That's how I felt too. This poor kid was being experimented on. That's what she says. That's what the researcher says. I'm pretty sure she was 16. This is crazy. This is actually insane. Well, the difference between that and this, who knows what they were injecting her with, is what she just said. At least I knew I was just getting straight testosterone. Well, the difference is her hormones didn't make her look like a man, so she had that going for her, but I'm guessing there's still a lot more to come. Maybe I'll just keep reacting to this documentary because it's pretty interesting.
And they had to drill her over and over again. She curtsied in front of the king and queen. She stumbled a tiny bit, but she held herself and she pulled it off. So it was
Is there a video of that?
But Rose...
Okay, so the documentary that I'm watching, she's answering questions at the end. I finished the entire thing, but she's answering questions now. And somebody asked if a lobotomy is ever successful. Like, does it ever end with a patient who's better off than they were before? Which I was very curious about, so I'm very glad they asked that. The woman who did this presentation, she's friends with a neurosurgeon who has performed 2 lobotomies that were successful on 2 patients who were in the mental hospital from their childhood, who were a danger to themselves and to others, and after the lobotomy, they went on to get high school diplomas, college degrees, and even master's degree one of them got, and they were both working and living independently, and they were successful, and this was in the modern day. She said that they were performed with lasers. So the fact is that there are some people who would benefit from a lobotomy, right, in the modern day, but not nearly as many as they thought back in the day, in the 1940s. Kind of similar to how it sounds with the amount of people who are being treated for dysphoria in the 2010s. Sounds like modern medicine is not so modern. Just like I'm gonna be one of the people in the future who's like, hey, I was experimented on. I was part of the transgender craze of the 2015s. I get to say that. When I'm like 70, I'm gonna be like, hey, the reason I'm different is because I went through this thing that I have to carry with me for the rest of my life. Similar to a lobotomy, but a little bit different. Because at least I can still walk and talk and eat. I just thought that was super interesting that lobotomies are still being performed very rarely because some people do benefit from them. You know, maybe 2 people out there. 2 people out there benefited, as opposed to however many people were doing it in the 1940s and 50s. Thousands. You know? Definitely something to be considered. So I have finished my documentaries and I have headed upstairs for the night probably. It's about 11:30 p.m. and I am currently playing Animal Crossing. Okay, so I am done playing Animal Crossing for the night. I don't know what time it is. It's probably around midnight. So I am going to be heading to bed soon, but before I do, I will probably be reading a little bit from my book. Normally at this time, I would be on my phone, probably on Reddit or Twitter, because to wind down at night, I usually just get on my phone to get on social media and get all riled up. But instead of doing that, I would rather just read or go to bed. So that's what I'm going to do. I think that's going to be a lot healthier for my brain and for my body because it makes it easier to fall asleep at night when you're just like laying in bed reading instead of being on your phone. So, all right. And I will talk to you guys in the morning. Good night. So, it is the morning. It's about 11:30. But last night, I woke up at like 4 a.m. I had really bad anxiety, and my heart was beating, and I was sweating a little bit, and I didn't remember having a bad dream. My jaw was clenching tight too. I felt awful. So I woke up my mom and I was like, hey, I feel really bad. I think it's my blood sugar. So she just cut me up an apple and some peanut butter because I felt so bad. I just like didn't even want to get off the couch. And like 15-20 minutes after I ate, I felt completely normal again. So that's when I realized that my hypoglycemia has been acting up again. So 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with hypoglycemia, which means low blood sugar. And that is, for me, that was a chronic condition that was basically a precursor to diabetes. Um, and so after I was diagnosed with that, about 6 months later, I realized that it was serious. I was having problems. I didn't feel normal. I felt awful all the time. And so I decided to go vegan. And that is when I lost 50 pounds over the course of about 6 months. Um, I really got in control of my diet and I was vegan for about a year. But about a year ago, I kind of stopped being vegan and didn't really pay as much attention to what I was eating. At first, it was just like sometimes I would eat, another treat, or like I would have like a big meal that I wasn't supposed to have. Um, and sometimes I wouldn't eat vegan. But then it turned into like every meal had something non-vegan in it. And then it turned into I would just eat whole plates of pasta, which is really bad for hypoglycemia. Or I would eat a whole pint of ice cream, which is also really bad. But I just stopped caring, and that has been going on for the past year. And since I've been home, and honestly, since the beginning of this semester, I think I've been realizing I need to fix my diet again. What my doctor recommended to me 2 years ago was to eat 6 small meals a day with 30 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat, and 10 grams of protein per meal, which is basically a small snack like this 6 times a day. So an apple and a tablespoon and a half of peanut butter is basically that 6 times a day. And I found the meals that would work for that. And I would have the servings that would be small enough to space out 6 times a day. And that is how I lost so much weight, because I was eating a lot less, but I was also eating extremely healthy. And I felt very good. And that's when I started exercising, because I just felt so good in my body. I've definitely been noticing I am not as healthy as I used to be. Don't feel as good, don't feel as young and limber as I did. I have noticed a few positive things since going off testosterone, though. I used to feel achy all the time, even when I was eating healthy and exercising. It was kind of like I felt like an old person. I was like, I would wake up and I'd be like, my bones, my joints, very achy. My muscles always hurt, kind of. And even like a protein powder would not help. And the places where my bones stick out, like my hip bones, they used to be sore because when I would like lay down on something, they would just poke because they didn't have any fat on them. But now I'm like, yeah, I have enough of a shape to where I have fat on the bones that I'm supposed to have fat on from puberty. So that's great. Feels great. But aside from that, I have noticed that I haven't felt as good. Haven't been exercising as much. So I make a commitment to myself to do that. By the way, I still don't have my phone. So it's officially been 24 hours. I honestly don't really miss it. I could go longer. So I have officially lost the how long can I go without my phone challenge, because I went to the dentist and I brought my phone. So good thing I did, because it took like 3 hours to get back home. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching. That was 24 hours without my phone. It's currently 5:30 p.m. I'm going to go put my phone away again, because I really like not being around it. And I feel like I get more stuff done and I'm more productive when I don't have my phone constantly on my person 24/7. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.